Testing, testing. Is this thing on? Well, Audacity seems to be thinking it is, so I'm going to talk liberally until I realize, with sudden horrific realizations, that that it was picking up my computer microphone instead of my microphone I bought. Either way, hi. Uh, First of all, I want to thank anyone who's seeing this for checking out the video I had made for SCP-5K. Many of you, probably almost all of you, uh, are aware that I kind of just made that on a whim. Anywho, yeah. So I wanted to talk a bit about it, or just talk in general about my ideas moving forward. And I guess this is my way of asking everyone I know if I should do something or not, because not all of you know each other. Um, my my dear kingdom of rats, um, probably are not at all aware of the people within my group, though they are aware. I'm right, Emperor. Just saying. Either way, yeah. As you can tell, video's unscripted because that's I just genuinely wanted to ask something, and also give a little behind the scenes. Um, so for those of you who don't know, uh, the SCP-5K video, the fan trailer thing I did. Originally, it wasn't actually going to be SCP-5K fan trailer. No, you see, I had listened to the artist. I always forget how to pronounce their names. I almost always say like chlamydia or calamadia or something like that. Their channel and music got linked in the bottom of the video. They're great. I absolutely love them. They make a lot of SCP stuff for music, and it's really cool. But no, quite literally, he or they I actually don't know them personally. They had made a soundtrack for SCP-5K, not the game, but actual SCP itself, and the soundtrack kind of played almost like a movie soundtrack or a game OST, and I was like, huh. Well, I want to put a voice to this. As almost all of you are aware, I greatly, greatly, greatly want to, like, sorry. I greatly enjoy voice acting, or at the least attempting. I haven't really landed any permanent jobs, but I have plenty of outtakes, and considering I haven't necessarily gotten hired yet, I wanted to have something other than like random voice demos I did that no one's gonna see. I wanted to have something on my portfolio. So projects, I thought to myself, why not make myself a audio project, post it on YouTube, and I could say, hey, if you want an example of my work other than the voice demos I sent, you can go and see this projects that I've done. Because I do make it clear that I have done narration and I have done other projects before, but none of those projects are public projects. They don't go on YouTube and whatnot. For example, I'm currently, well, I need to get back on that actually, but I've previously been reading Winnie the Pooh, a children's book, as an audio narration to help someone that I know. And I've also, as some of you know, I've gotten accepted for a couple of parody roles, but yeah, as many of you know, especially those of you who knew I was like very ecstatic for Von Karma, being able to voice Von Karma. That project got canceled, so I never got to do anything. And right now I'm currently on a site called Upwork to hopefully find work. And I really need a better portfolio because, what else am I bringing to the table if not my voice? Anyway, I'm getting sidetracked. So I listened to the song, I believe, Hardened Hearts, and the O5 Council theme. And I thought, well, considering it's 5K soundtrack. I don't think the '05 theme is in the 5K soundtrack, but considering it says 5K soundtrack, I should absolutely voice this. So I had emailed Kelmedia, however you pronounce it. I'm butchering that. And then I realized I didn't have to. Uh, it says their works is under, I think, either Creative Commons or something like that. I just have to give them credit. I'm not really out here selling their stuff or stealing it. I just wanted to use it for a project. And they said themselves in a multitude of videos in their description that it's perfectly fine. So, yeah, thanks. You're a really fucking cool guy or gal or whoever the fuck. But yeah, originally it was just 5K. And then I did the audio, and I liked what I did with the audio. I experimented with the EAS, or Emergency Announcement System. Kind of get one of the voices that like iconic sound to it, and then I sent it to two buddies of mine, and one of them absolutely adored it. I gave them like analog core. I think both of them kind of like got analog core vibes. Well, it definitely gelled with one more than the other. And his feedback was visuals. Adding visuals would make it like probably either 10 times scarier or maybe more impactful or something like that. I don't remember the words you actually said. I am sorry, my fellow rat. But then I was like, sure, fuck it. I got time, so let me do it. And so I did. But then I realized, well, I was starting to make the analog core thing, and then I'm like, damn, it's going to be tedious as hell. Because just looking at the project, so many adding titles and subtitles. Now I see why people who do that as their YouTube shtick, like Soviet Womble, Rubik's Raptor, Remy Down Under, Nano, like all these people, I have immense respect and dedication. Thank you so much for your time, because oh my god, I I can't. It's so tedious. It's no. I'm if sorry. It's no wonder that the task is arduous. So when they have like a schedule and they're constantly pumping these things out, it is amazing. I could not do that, mostly because I don't have the time. But like with time, probably I could have the patience too, if I get more in the spirit of things. But in some part of it, it's their job, so they have to. I don't have that motivation. My motivation is pure passion, and personally, tediousness, anything that's tedious, kind of knocks my passion out of it. Yeah. So, what do I do? Visuals, of course. I got SCP-5K, the game. A game that I was looking at for a while, that's gone on through many, many updates. And at this point, I was like, you know what? It's been cooking for a while. Let me see it. I love that game, by the way. It's a bit rough for certain aspects. But, you know, it's really well made, and it's made with a lot of love. So I'm like, well, the game is called 5K. I might as well, you know. And then that led me down a rabbit hole of getting footage and whatnot. Thank God to the 5K devs. They're so cool. They added a body cam kind of feature. And I was like, absolutely this. I'm using this to give that perspective that you see of the people walking around and whatnot. Actually, fun fact about that. So, 5K devs themselves have basically have it so that I think in some community posts you could see all the admin commands. So you could like no clip spawn stuff, though spawning stuff is a bit iffy. You can only really spawn the peanut. I haven't been able to spawn anything else. That's besides the point. Either way, so I no clipped around and like to get certain shots, to gain access to areas earlier on, so that I wouldn't have to actually not suffer, but sit through multitude of hours trying to get to the place where I want footage. To really drive home this point, the point where you see Peanut and the point where you see Peanut and then you see the cognito hazard, the thing on the like movie theater screen that kind of like looks like a face. Um, yeah, that entire those are two chapters apart, or yeah, something like that. There are like 3 hours worth of gameplay between there, and I was like, I'm not doing that. Would I have done it? Absolutely. If it was my first time playing, but it's not. I've already beaten the game, I think, a couple times now. Um, and it's not my first time playing. So I was like, well, I know the points I want. I want to get to those points and then, get to editing this video. Um, yeah, fun fact. Another fun fact. So there's a part where me and my friends are screwing around with no clip, and I'm just so happening to like be running OBS because I'm like, man, this stuff's cool. Um, so the clip where you see someone shooting into a cargo container and something falling out of it, that wasn't scripted at all. That just sort of happened when we were fucking with no clip. I activated a trigger and then I no clipped back up because I realized the map was all interconnected, and that it was really funny whenever we recorded it because he squealed. He was not ready. He thought they like despawned when I left the area, but they didn't. They just like ran and hid into the cargo container. So that was funny. Anyway, I'm getting really sidetracked. So I got the visuals of the game, and then I'm like, well, I'm getting visuals of a game, so I can't say it's a passion project anymore. I gotta say it's more of a fan trailer or a tribute or something like that. So that's what I do, and that's how that video came about. But the thing I wanted to talk about, listen to me, CEO of Yap. The thing I wanted to talk about, I'll probably put I'll put a timestamp in the video or timestamp somewhere if I know how to how to do that. If I can figure out how to do that. Otherwise, I'll put it in the description or pin a comment or something like that. Because God, I talked for 12 minutes already. So what I wanted to talk about, I love that project, but the time it took to make that project made me like it less. I feel my heart wasn't really in it towards the end of it. There was a point where I was like, I just want to get this done because I only have the weekend. I'm not sure if I said this, but that took like all of my weekend. It took from Friday to like Sunday to make that. So it took a long time. It took a long time, and that's time I kind of wanted to dedicate to other things, to look at jobs, to do actual schoolwork. But so I know in my heart of hearts I can't always provide visuals. Actually, that's why I wanted to talk. So I want to make audio series. I love stories, and I love trying to give voices to those stories. Problem is, I don't know whether or not it's better for me to have visuals in there or not. Like, for example, if I did a comic that makes sense. You want to see the visuals of the comic. Of course, that works. That's like a no biggie. But for like a book, like a story, like that I made or that someone else made or that I'm narrating over or whatnot, how do you provide visuals? You don't really, unless you're like absolutely goated and you hire an artist or you are an artist and you draw these things out. Unfortunately, my drawing ability is severely lacking. Yeah. uh, yeah, yeah. But I want to deliver stories. So my question is, if I made audiobooks or made a podcast, not really a podcast, but I guess that's essentially what it would be. Um, if I made something of that sort and I posted it here, and like, I don't know, like I already have several things in mind, right? I've written my own stories before, and I'm currently in the process of seeing if I could get someone to allow me to post their stories here as well, because I really enjoy, because I've worked with them on it, and it's been really fun. Um, and I want to give those things to life. However, I can't provide visual to something that doesn't have visuals. I'm not putting words on a screen. That's ludicrous. That's ludicrous. That is ludicrous. That is ludicrous. Unless the book is available online, then I could probably record the book, like the actual pages, and then flipping through it. But that's different. These are words. Words should have meaning whether they have visuals or not. And I want and I want to make audiobooks. But I don't know if that's the best idea, considering I don't know what engages people more. I feel as if visuals would engage people more, but then the question would be, how would I provide visuals to something that didn't have visuals in the first place? The answer would probably be commissioning an artist, but I don't have money. And I don't want to draw myself. Of course, I could, and probably help me to practice, but I digress. So, moving forward, um, genuinely, this is to get your opinion. But moving forward, you could probably expect to see less of things with visuals and more audio style things. Something you could put in your background and just listen to me blabber on about for however long. Because right now, that's the cards I have available to me. And some of you here, if you're some of the people I know in real life, are absolutely amazing artists. You're amazingly talented. You're great. I'm not gonna ask you to waste your time on this. You have more important matters to address. Maybe during the summer I would harass you for a little help, but yeah. Until then, either way, that's where I am right now. You know, I wanted to thank you once again. Honestly, it means the world to me that even if you were just entertaining me just to view the video, it means a lot. Thanks. And yeah, let me know what you think.